Dixie is an artist, a writer, and he will read out a poem written by Bobby Sands, and there is no one who can read out the poem better than Dixie. He will read it out in the spirit it was written. So thank you, Dixie Elliott.
Poem for Anwar Dada and her family, which was written in the Hitch Blocks by Bobby Sands on the 11th of August 1980, a couple of months before the first hunger strike. There's no distance in the world can alter the colour of blood. Life can take only one course. The pen cannot smite the ties, and even law can't change, it can hurt only. But it cannot take the family, that will always be yours. Alone I am without strength. United there are chances and hope. Solidarity once wars, we're in this together. There's love for humanity, a prize we shall win. Your children are yours, your life is with them. We won't let the racist state decide who should live together because of the colour of their skin. Unity is stronger than courts. A building will crumble. Through your life and your children, you are eternal. Laws can never weaken that, ever. In the face of brutality and racism, we shall hold fast together. There is faith. Because you have us and we bleed with you, we beat them. They thought we would never. You have won because you're who you are, because love always conquers hate. Thank you.
Thank you, Dixie, and you've done Bobby Sands proud to stand here all these years later and read out his poem at the Free Dairy wall, Free Dairy corner. Thank you. Now, is Eamon McCann here? Oh, yes. I'm delighted to introduce, he doesn't need any introduction in Derry, and I don't need to tell the people here that Eamon McCann has such a historical connection to this wall. He is a journalist, a writer, he's an author of War in an Irish Town, and Eamon will say a few words this evening in support of this campaign. Thank you.
I said to somebody over there just before I come up, said I'm going to be very brief, and she said to me, no you won't. She said to me before. But honestly I will be very brief because I mean it's a cold and miserable night to stand here, but we're standing alongside and in the shoes of people for whom torture is a daily experience, and cold and hardship is something they had to get used to. I was talking about Risha mentioned there Free Dairy Wall and how appropriate this is, what an appropriate place this is to stand in favour and in defence of and the solidarity with the Palestinian prisoners. Free Dairy Wall and the slogan "You're now entering Free Dairy" is often and understandably taken to mean simply freedom for Ireland. It means something bigger and deeper and broader than that. The slogan went up on the wall on the 5th of January, early in the morning of the 5th of January in 1969, just before the Brits came in at the bottom of that street. And what You're Now Entering Free Derry was about, it was not an Irish slogan. It was a slogan for the world. It was a slogan taken from the walls of Berkeley University in the United States, California. And the students had put up, "You're now entering free Berkeley," in opposition to the regime which was running the university at the time. That's where we got the slogan from. And we got the slogan from there and passed it on. And a couple of months ago, or a year ago I suppose, that I saw a picture of a Capitol Hill in Portland in Oregon, which the students had occupied. And there it was, in the exact shape of Free Derry Wall. There was that little peak at the top of it, an exact copy of it. It said, "You're now entering Free Cap Hill." I got in touch through some friends in the United States and got them to go up to the students. I actually wanted them to get in touch, but that never happened. But to tell them how honoured and proud we were that the statement on that wall could apply not just to Ireland, but could apply to the whole wide world. And it certainly applies to the Palestinian prisoners. And so the first time I knew about Palestine and really understood it was precisely in 1968. Because it was the first time that the existence of the Palestinian struggle had come very forcefully before our eyes, and so that we could understand it. Now, the fact that we could understand that all those years ago, and still here we are again, well, that slogan was written up applying to Palestinians and black people and to people in Ireland, everybody who was oppressed. The fact that we're still standing here, sort of in the rain, sort of in this state, testifies not to our endurance, but testifies to the endurance of those in whose defence and whose name we all stand here. The struggle is worldwide. The Palestinian people are absolutely in the forefront, in the vanguard of that struggle. Palestine is the front line of the world. So when we stand for Palestine, we're standing for justice everywhere. We're standing for ourselves. One of my great heroines at that time, 50 years ago, was Leila Calhoun. Leila was a young woman, she was 21 years old. She came from an organisation called the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, a controversial organisation at the time, and still is. But she hijacked a plane in the name of Palestine and had it flown to Gatwick Airport outside London to bring the struggle to London. One of my first political acts around that time was to stand outside West End Police Station in London, which was saying, "Free Leila, free Leila." We've got to get Devlin and Edna O'Brien and Vanessa Redgrave went in and said, "As women of the world, we want her out." They managed to stop them. I mean, demonstrations managed to stop them, putting her in prison in Britain. But that was making the connection between our own struggle and the struggle of Palestinian people. And I don't want to stand here in the rain and repeat all that. But I say this, remember, small as our numbers might be here tonight, we represent millions and millions of people around the world who yearn for freedom, who groan under the yoke of imperialist forces who have occupied their countries. We do that to honour them, because in honouring them, we are standing for ourselves as well. If Palestine isn't free, none of us will be free. If the world is colluding in the persecution of the Palestinian people, we cannot get rid of the blame and the guilt for wrongful imprisonment ourselves. I say, free Palestine, free the world, free our brother Barghouti, free all the prisoners in England who are being on hunger strike and Poston 24 who are there for standing up for the Palestinian people. And I'll leave you with this, buddy. When you sort of look around you, what's happening across the water and everywhere else, all sorts of civil libertarians can list all these sort of abuses which are going on in the world and leave out the people who are imprisoned and on hunger strike for standing with the Palestinian people. We should know that in Ireland more than most people around the world. So we have to sort of make a reality of that. We have to stand together in hail, rain or shine, because the Palestinian people have been standing in hail, rain and shine for more than 50 years. It is our duty, not simply something that we can dabble in. It is our duty as human beings and as believers in civil rights and the rights of human beings. It is our duty to stand with the Palestinian people. So we are here and we'll be here again. And it's never wasted. It's never wasted. You might think there's so few of us, we can't make a difference. Oh yes we can. Because you add up all the demonstrations which are happening. There are millions of us, standing with the Palestinian people around the world. We can make a difference, we should make a difference, and we should stay on the streets until that difference is made. Thank you.
Thank you, Eamon McCann, and absolutely we will stay on the streets. And just speaking of, I just want an announcement. We have 2 singers coming up to finish off proceedings, but before we do that, I'd like to announce that IPSC Derry are organising a march